Hey guys, what's up? It's Atlanta, and today I'm going to be doing some story times talking about times I thought, your girl was gonna get murdered. I haven't been on any Tinder dates, and those are like the story times that actually do well, but one of these is actually a Tinder date story. It's just a shorter story. That's why it's not one video, because I feel like it'd be like way too short, You get me? So I'm going to be doing two stories. One is a Tinder date and the other is from when I was in 8th grade. So let the story times begin. I've really gone out on like a lot of Tinder dates recently just because of the holidays and like visiting people and doing stuff. But I did go on one. It wasn't a bad date, so this isn't like a bad Tinder date story. So I am obviously on Tinder and I see this guy and I have seen him before, like I know him. We've been to like the same parties together. We have like the same group of friends, but me and him had just never like really communicated or talked or anything. And so I swiped, that's left. So I swiped right and we matched, and I was like, okay, this could be good. So he was like, hey, let's go to a kickback that my friend is having. We'll drink there and stuff. And he's like, if we, get drunk or something, we can just stay the night there. And I was like, okay, yeah, I'm totally down, whatever. Because my friend in one of my previous videos who was at the same party I was going to be at this party. So what's up, girl? We're having a good time. We're like talking, we're playing beer pong, I'm like scoring all like the shots, because I'm the best. So we were in this guy's basement. This is where we were all playing, and he was like, okay, so you guys are going to sleep down here tonight. And I was like, I don't know if I could do that. Basements freak me out when they're not like all like done up, all like super nice, like a game room and all that shit. His was like a basement, like a murderer's basement, with like couches and tables in there. I'm not judging, you do you, but I'm gonna do me and be gone. But we had been drinking, so like we couldn't drive or anything, so I had to stay the night there. He was like, yeah, you guys are all sleeping here, and I was just like, can I have a knife, please? So basically the night like wind down. So the night began to wind down, and everybody was like, okay, it's time to crash, let's do this, we're gonna sleep, pray that we don't get murdered. So basically we just crashed out, and we were all just sleeping on the floor. We had like throw pillows and blankets, like barely getting covered up, and it was freezing. Let me tell you, the ground, it was cold. I don't know how long we were asleep for, but all of a sudden like we heard banging coming from like upstairs, and it was just him. He was just home alone, and so we heard banging, and I was just like, this is it, this is how I'm going to die. Let me call my mom and dad, tell them I love them, and tell them like, nobody gets my stuff, that shit's going to the grave with me. So basically the kid's house, who it was, he decided he would go upstairs to check it out, and he was up there for like a long time, and we heard some like mumbling and stuff, but like we weren't sure what's going on, so we like didn't rush upstairs or anything. I was still hiding in the corner, with my invisible knife, guarding myself, ready to attack. So the kid came rushing downstairs, and he was like, okay, everybody, my mom came home early, didn't know she was, she said she was going to be gone all weekend, so you guys need to go. And I was like, what? I was like, first of all, like, you have to sneak around, you're like in college and you still have to sneak around, like to have parties and stuff. I was like, okay. So he was like, my mom went upstairs, but he's like, you guys have to try and like be as quiet as you can to leave. And I was like, this mofo. So the guy that I came here with, we're gonna call him Ronaldo. Ronaldo was sleeping on the floor, and he would not budge. He didn't wake up through this whole thing. Like, he was still passed out, dead asleep. I was like, yo, Ronaldo, we got to go. He was not waking up or anything. I was like shaking him and stuff. He was just passed out, drunk, whatever. Finally, praise the Lord, he wakes up, he rises up from the dead that he was in, and he was like, what's going on? And I was like, yeah, we got to leave. So everybody's finally awake, we're all situated, we gathered our things, we're not drunk, except for Ronaldo. He still may be a little bit drunk, but I'm good. I'm like, let's get the hell out of here. We're all like tiptoeing up these stairs, and mind you, this is an old basement with like wooden stairs, so it's really hard to try and tiptoe up them without making any noise because they creak all the time. So we're pacing ourselves, we're walking up the steps, we're good, we reached the top, we're good. So there was that story where I thought, we were gonna get murdered. So the second story is one when I was in like 8th grade with my friend. So I was friends with this girl in 8th grade. We're just gonna name her Francesca because why not? Okay, so me and Francesca had been friends since like 4th grade. So like I basically like knew her whole family, like her cousins, her aunts, her uncles, like her grandparents, everybody. So I went over to her house one weekend and she was telling me a story about the previous weekend where she was at her cousin's house and there was a guy like literally in the backyard with like a knife or something. I can't remember if it was like a knife or like a bat or something like that, but it was like along those lines. Called the police and everything. The police came. There was nobody there, whatever. They couldn't really do a lot about it because, there was nobody there. They didn't see the guy, whatever. So she was like, they want us to go babysit the baby tonight. And I was just like, you want me to go to a house? We're gonna be alone with a baby and there's a murderer on the loose. Well, she's like, oh, they're gonna pay us good, we're in. We just gotta watch the baby from like 9 to midnight. We'll be good. Everything will be Gucci, Like the good friend I am, I say, okay, let's go. So we get to the house. The house is actually like really creepy. The house, it wasn't in a good neighborhood. I actually grew up in this neighborhood, so I know. So we're just minding our business. We're making beef stew on the stove. We're doing our thing. I take the baby into the living room. I'm feeding it its food. I'm feeding myself my food, and I'm watching TV, having a jolly good time. And then Francesca comes running in, grabs the baby, and she goes, get into the room. I was like, you ain't gotta tell me twice. We go into one of the rooms, not the back room, but we go into one of the rooms and I'm like, she's holding the baby and I'm just holding myself and I'm like, what's going on? Tell me. She's like, keep it down. She's like, I seen somebody in the backyard, and I was like, can we run? I had anxiety like really bad back then. So I was shitting myself. We're just sitting there. We turned off all the lights. We're just huddling down and we're just like rocking back and forth. And I was so scared. And the baby was just fine. The baby was like doing her thing. She was just chilling. And so like we sat in that spot for like an hour before Francesca mustered up the confidence to go outside of the room and check, and nobody was there, thankfully. And finally the parents came home and me and Francesca split. We were gone. We never babysat again. But there you go. There are some stories of when I thought I was gonna get murdered. I obviously didn't, so thank you, man upstairs. If you guys enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. So once I hit 500 subscribers, I'm going to be doing a giveaway. I've already started to collect some things and it's right there. That's what I'm looking at. So if you guys are new here, please subscribe. Be on the lookout for that 500 sub giveaway. Well, I hope you guys have a good weekend. I hope you guys had a good holiday. New Year's is coming up. Are we all turning up or what? Yeah, I'm going to be laying in my bed with my dog and probably be asleep when it hits midnight. So that's my New Year's. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!